It was just another cold evening in the city. People were walking fast, holding their jackets tight. Cars passed by with their lights on. The sky was gray, and the streets were noisy, but among all that noise, there was a strange silence around. One small boy. He sat alone on the sidewalk. His clothes were dirty, his shoes didn't match. One was too big, the other too small. His hair was messy, and his face was tired. In his hands, he held an old teddy bear torn and dusty, but hugged. Like treasure. No one stopped. People walked around him like he was part of the road. Some looked at him with pity. Others looked away like they didn't see him at all. The boy said nothing. He didn't cry. He didn't beg. He just looked down, holding his bear tighter. His lips moved slowly, like he was whispering something to himself. Across the street, a police car was parked. Inside was Officer Daniels. He was eating a sandwich and checking his notepad. His eyes were tired. He had been on duty for 10 hours. He was thinking about going home, feeding his dog, and resting. But then, something caught his eye. He looked up and saw the boy. At first, Daniels thought the child was waiting for someone. Maybe his parents were nearby. Maybe he was lost for just a moment. But 5 minutes passed. Then 10. No one came. Daniels sighed, placed his sandwich on the dashboard, and stepped out of the car. He walked slowly across the street. The wind was sharp. His boots made soft sounds on the sidewalk. As he got closer, the boy still didn't move. Daniels knelt down. "Hey buddy," he said softly. "Are you okay?" The boy didn't answer. Daniels looked around. No adult in sight, no bag, no phone. Just the boy. And that teddy bear. "What's your name?" Daniels asked again, this time slower. The boy finally lifted his head. His eyes were big and full of something Daniels couldn't name. Not just fear, something deeper. Like he had seen too much. "My name is Liam," the boy whispered. Daniels nodded gently. "Okay, Liam, where are your parents?" Liam looked away, then shook his head slowly. Daniels felt a small pain in his chest. "Are you hurt?" he asked. Liam pointed to his knee. There was a small cut and some dried blood. "All right," Daniels said, trying to smile. "We'll fix that. Do you want to come with me to the station? We can get you food. Warm blanket? Maybe some cartoons?" Liam still didn't move. Daniels opened his jacket and showed his badge. "I'm here to help you, okay?" Then he held out his hand. Liam stared at the hand. Then, at Daniels' face. Finally, slowly, Liam reached out and held the officer's fingers. It was a small hand, cold, shaking a little. Daniels helped him stand up as they walked to the car. Daniels opened the door gently for him. Liam climbed in, still holding his teddy bear. Inside, the heater was warm. The seat was soft. Liam looked around carefully, like it was the first safe place he had seen in a long time. Daniels got in and started the engine. "All right, little man. We're heading to the station." But before the car moved, Liam looked at Daniels. He opened his mouth, paused, then said one single word, a word that made Daniels freeze. "Brother." The air inside the car became heavy. Daniels turned his head slowly. What did you say?" he asked. Liam repeated. "Quietly, brother." Daniels stared at him. His hands started shaking a little. Years ago, Daniels had a little brother. His name was Nathan. They were close, very close. But something terrible happened. A fire. A dark night. Screams. Smoke. Nathan was lost in the fire. They never found the body. Daniels had never healed from that. He had buried that pain deep inside. Became a cop to help others, but he never stopped thinking what if. Now, this boy, dirty, scared, just said the word brother. It couldn't be right. Daniels pulled the car to the side. He turned to face Liam. "Why did you call me that?" Liam looked down. "You feel like him?" "Feel like who?" "My brother," Liam whispered. "Before they took him?" "Who took him?" Daniels asked, but Liam shook his head. "I don't want to go back." Daniels didn't push more. He reached into the glove box and took out a protein bar. "Here," he said. "Eat this. We'll talk more at the station." Liam took it, opened it slowly, took small bites like he hadn't eaten in days. Daniels drove toward the police station. But his mind wasn't clear. One word, just one, but it had shaken something deep inside him. He glanced at the boy again. Could this really be more than a coincidence? Or was this just a broken child looking for someone to trust? Either way, Daniels knew one thing. This wasn't just another call. This wasn't just another boy. Something had just begun. Something big, something dangerous, and something deeply personal. The police station was quiet that night. The usual noise of phones ringing and officers talking was softer than usual. It was cold outside, and the warmth inside felt like safety. Officer Daniels gently opened the station door. Liam walked beside him, small and silent, still holding the old teddy bear close to his chest. A young female officer, Officer Kayla, looked up from her desk. Her eyes softened when she saw the child. "Who's this?" she asked quietly. "Found him alone on the sidewalk," Daniels replied. "Name's Liam. No parents, no ID." He said something strange. Kayla raised an eyebrow. "Strange how?" Daniels paused. "He looked at me and called me brother. Just that one word." Kayla looked at Liam again, then at Daniels. "Maybe he's confused, lost, scared. Daniels nodded slowly. Maybe. But something inside him said no. It's more than that. They led Liam to a private room with a small couch, a heater, and a table with some food. Kayla brought him a soft blanket and a cup of hot chocolate. Liam sat quietly, watching the steam rise from the cup. He didn't talk much, but he didn't cry either. He was calm in a way that didn't feel normal for a child. Daniels stepped out of the room with Kayla. We need to do a full check. Missing kids list, run his photo. And, I want a DNA test. Kayla blinked. DNA, you think? I don't know what I think, Daniels interrupted. But I need to be sure. Kayla nodded. All right, I'll call the nurse. Later that night, Daniel sat in his office. The boy's face haunted him. He reached into his drawer and pulled out a small photo picture of two boys. One of them was him at age 14. The other was his little brother, Nathan, age 6. In the photo, Nathan was smiling wide, wearing a small red bracelet on his wrist. A birthday gift Daniels gave him. It had 2 letters carved into it, D+N, Daniels and Nathan. Daniels looked at the picture, then looked at the hallway toward the room where Liam was resting. No, it couldn't be. Nathan died in that fire. Everyone said it. The firefighters, the investigators, the neighbors. But they never found the body. Only ashes, only burnt wood. What if they were wrong? What if someone took him? Daniels shook his head, trying to think clearly. Just then, Kayla knocked on the door. We got something, she said. Daniels followed her to the computer. Facial scan ran a soft match. Kayla explained. Not official, but strong similarities. With a missing child report from 3 years ago. Name on that file, Liam Carter. Reported missing from another state. No known family found. Daniel stared at the screen. A younger picture of Liam appeared. Cleaner, smiling, but same eyes. Same. Kid, he whispered. There's more, Kayla said. We found a note in the missing child file. Said the boy may have been seen with a man near a train station, but no ID, no arrest. Daniels clenched his jaw. Did we collect DNA? Just sent it to the lab. Results in 48 hours. Daniels nodded. Until then, he stays here. I'll take him home with me tonight. Safer than leaving him alone. Kayla looked surprised. Are you sure? That's not protocol? Daniels looked her in the eyes. This is personal now. At midnight, Daniels drove home with Liam sleeping in the back seat. His small body was curled up, teddy bear held tightly. Daniels lived in a quiet neighborhood. A simple house, 1 floor, 2 bedrooms. It had been empty for too long. Since his divorce, since his mother passed, since Nathan disappeared, Daniels carried Liam inside gently and laid him on the couch. He placed an extra blanket over him. The boy didn't wake. Daniels sat across from him, watching, protecting. As the night passed, old memories started coming back. He remembered the last time he saw Nathan. He remembered the fire. It was a stormy night. A candle had fallen in the living room. Their mother screamed. Smoke everywhere. He tried to run to his brother's room, but the flames were too fast. He screamed for Nathan. He heard something, a cry, then silence. Everyone told him Nathan didn't make it, but Daniels never believed it. Not deep down. And now, this boy shows up, says brother, and wears that bracelet. Yes. Daniels noticed it when they got home. Under the boy's dirty sleeve, a red thread bracelet, faded by time. He had only seen one like it before, the same kind he gave Nathan. Daniels' hands shook as he sat on the edge of the couch. Could Liam and Nathan be connected? Was this boy really the key to a mystery that haunted him for years? Early next morning, as sunlight peeked through the curtains, Liam finally woke up. He rubbed his eyes and looked around. He saw the warm living room, a small dog sleeping on the floor, a smell of pancakes coming from the kitchen. Daniels turned and smiled. Good morning, buddy. Liam sat up slowly. You're safe here, Daniels said. No one will hurt you. Liam nodded. Daniels brought him a plate with pancakes, syrup, and a glass of milk. Liam ate slowly but smiled for the first time. Daniels sat beside him. Liam, he said softly, can I ask you something? The boy looked up. Where did you get that bracelet? Liam touched it. He held it like it was his most important thing. My brother gave it to me, he said. Daniels felt his chest tighten. What was your brother's name? Liam hesitated. I don't remember. I was very small, but I remember his voice. He said he would always find me. Daniels looked away for a moment, blinking fast. What happened to you, Liam? He asked. The boy looked down. They took me, he whispered. Men, a big house. They said my family left me. I didn't believe them. Do you know where the house is? Liam shook his head. Dark, no windows, just locks. I escaped through a broken wall. Daniels placed a hand on his shoulder. You're safe now, I promise. Liam looked up at him. I feel like I've met you before. Daniels didn't answer. He just hugged him tightly. Outside, the world kept moving, but inside that small house, something powerful was happening. 2 broken souls, slowly finding each other, one searching for truth, the other searching for love, and neither knew. The real storm hadn't even started yet. The morning light made the house feel warmer, safer. Liam had just finished breakfast, his plate empty, syrup still on his cheek. Officer Daniels smiled as he handed the boy a napkin. You sure like pancakes, Daniels said. trying to keep things light. Liam nodded, licking the syrup from his finger. They taste like home. That simple sentence hit Daniels in the heart. Do you remember your home? Daniels asked gently. Liam looked down. Only small things. A yellow curtain, a dog barking, someone laughing, then nothing. Daniels didn't press further. Liam was still healing. Just then, his phone buzzed. It was the police station. He answered. Daniels here. A familiar voice came through. You need to get back to the station. Now. Someone just walked in. Says he's the boy's uncle. Daniels stood up, his voice sharp. Don't let him leave. At the station, the air felt colder. Officer Kayla stood near the front desk, arms crossed. Daniels walked in quickly. Where is he? Kayla pointed toward the hallway. A tall man, with a black jacket and sunglasses, stood near the chairs. He had a thick beard and slicked back hair. His face was hard, and his smile was even harder. Daniels approached slowly. You said you're the boy's uncle? He asked. Yes, the man said smoothly. Liam Carter. I'm his only living family. Do you have ID? Daniels asked. His tone firm. The man reached into his pocket and pulled out a folded paper. His parents died in a car crash. I've been looking for him. He ran away. Daniels looked over the paper. Was old, barely readable. No photo, no official seal. Do you got anything with your name on it? Government ID? Family documents? The man laughed softly. Do I look like I carry a folder around? Daniel didn't smile. The man leaned in. Look, officer, the kid's mine. Blood. You don't want trouble? Just hand him over. Daniels took a step back and crossed his arms. You said he ran away. From where? The man blinked. A foster home. He didn't like rules. Daniels nodded slowly. And what was the name of the home? The man paused. It's Green Pines Shelter. Outside the city. Daniels stared into the man's eyes. There is no Green Pines Shelter near this city. The man's jaw tightened. Kayla stepped closer. Daniels spoke coldly. Liam said you weren't his uncle. He looked scared when he saw you. The man suddenly smiled again. But now, the smile was sharp like a knife. Well, he said, standing up, if you won't hand him over now, maybe I'll come back later. With a lawyer, he turned and walked slowly toward the exit. Daniels followed behind, keeping his hand near his belt. Just before the man stepped out the door, he looked back. His voice was calm but full of poison. That boy doesn't belong to you, officer. And trust me, he won't be safe for long. Then he walked out. Daniels locked the station door behind him and walked back to Kayla. That man's lying, Daniels said. Kayla nodded. He knew nothing about Liam's past. And that paper? A fake Winnie face? Through the system, cameras check known traffickers, kidnappers, anyone connected to missing kids. I'm already on it, she said. Back at the house, Daniels returned to find Liam sitting on the floor with the dog, gently petting its ears. The boy looked up. Where did you go? He asked. Daniels smiled. Had to check something. Nothing to worry about. Liam stood and walked over, looking a little unsure. That man at the station. Daniels began slowly, watching Liam's face. Do you know him? Liam's face went pale. His hands began to shake. I don't want to go back, he whispered. Please don't let him take me. Daniels knelt down. You're safe here. He's not taking you anywhere. He hurts people, Liam said, voice trembling. He locks kids in rooms. No windows. Only noise. Screaming. Please don't let him find me. Daniels placed both hands on Liam's shoulders. I promise, he said. No one will hurt you again. Liam hugged him tight. And for the first time, Daniels hugged back, like a father would that night. Daniels sat at his kitchen table, staring at the note that it was left in his mailbox. No name, no address, just 5 words written in dark ink. You took what is mine. Daniels showed it to Kayla the next morning. He's threatening you, she said. He's not just after Liam, he's warning you. Daniels nodded. This is bigger than just one missing boy. I think he's part of something. You think? Trafficking? Daniels leaned back. Liam said they locked him up, kept him in the dark. That's not a foster home. That's a prison. Kayla's face grew serious. We need to report this to Child Crimes Division, and until we know more, you need security at your house. Daniels didn't hesitate. Do it. That evening, Liam had trouble sleeping. He kept turning on the light and checking under the bed. Daniels entered the room. Hey, you okay? I heard something, Liam said, eyes wide. Outside, Daniels checked every window, every lock. Everything was clear. He sat by Liam's bed. You know, he said softly, when I was a kid, I was scared of the dark too. Liam looked at him. Really? Daniels nodded. But then I learned something. The dark can't hurt you if someone's standing in it for you. Liam smiled a little. Will you stay? He asked. Daniels nodded. I'll be right here. As the clock ticked past midnight, Daniels sat silently near the door. The house was quiet, but outside in the street, a black car rolled by slowly. Its headlights were off. Inside the car, the same man from the station sat in the front seat. He stared at the house. He wasn't smiling now. And in his lap was a photo. A photo of Liam. Folded next to it was another photo. This one was older. A picture of a boy with the same eyes, and a red bracelet on his wrist. The man whispered to himself, he knows nothing, yet The wind was loud that night. It howled through the city, shaking windows and bending trees. In a quiet neighborhood, most houses were dark. People were sleeping, but in one small house, a boy couldn't close his eyes. Liam sat on the edge of the bed. His fingers kept playing with the red bracelet on his wrist. His teddy bear was next to him, and a small lamp lit the room softly. He kept listening. Every little sound, every creak in the wood, every whisper of wind. He wasn't afraid of monsters under the bed. He was afraid of something much worse. In the living room, Officer Daniels sat on the couch. He had stayed awake all night since the note arrived. The words were burned into his mind. You took what is mine. Daniels checked his gun again, fully loaded. He also installed a new camera near the front door. Kayla had arranged a squad car to drive by every hour. Still, something didn't feel right. He looked at the time, 2:42 a.m. He walked quietly down the hallway to check on Liam. He opened the door slowly. Liam was sitting up, eyes wide. You okay, buddy? Daniels asked. Liam nodded quickly, but his face told the truth. You want me to stay here a bit? Liam didn't speak. He just pulled the blanket over himself. Daniels sat down beside the bed. Bad dreams. Liam nodded again. But they're not just dreams. Daniels looked at him gently. You want to tell me what happened to you? Liam looked up. His hands shook slightly, but he spoke, and the truth came out. Liam began his story with a whisper. I don't know who the man is, the one who came to the station, but I've seen him before. Daniels leaned in. He was at the house where I was kept, the dark house. No windows. I don't know where it was. We weren't allowed to look outside. We didn't even have clocks. How many kids were there? Daniels asked softly. Liam's voice dropped. 6, maybe more. We didn't talk much. We were too scared. Daniels clenched his fists. They told us our families were dead, that no one would come for us. They said we were just forgotten. Did they hurt you? Liam nodded slowly. Sometimes, not always, but the fear was worse than the pain. Daniels tried not to show emotion, but inside, his heart was burning. How did you get out? Liam looked up. One night I heard a sound. A scratching. Rat had chewed a hole in the wooden wall behind my mattress. It wasn't big, but I kept working on it every night with a fork I hid. Daniels listened closely, amazed by the boy's courage. After 3 weeks, Liam continued, I made the hole big enough to crawl through. It led to a crawl space. I followed pipes and wires. And finally, I found a small metal door. Was it locked? Daniels asked. No, Liam whispered, but it was loud when it opened. I ran through fields, jumped a fence, and just kept walking. I didn't know where to go. I slept in parking lots, behind stores. Then I found that sidewalk. Daniels placed a hand on Liam's shoulder. You were brave, he said. You saved yourself. Liam looked up at him. But what about the others? They're still there. Daniels nodded. We'll find them, I promise. The next morning, Daniels called Kayla. We need to get into that building, the place where Liam escaped from. Did he remember the address? She asked. No, but maybe something will come back. A name, a sound, anything. Kayla sighed. We don't have a warrant, not yet. Then get one, Daniels said firmly. This is real. These kids are in danger. She agreed. Later that day, Daniels and Liam sat at the kitchen table. Daniels had spread out a map of the city and its outskirts. Anything look familiar? He asked. Liam studied the map carefully. No names, he said. But, I remember, the sound of trains. Every night, loud close. Daniels marked nearby train yards. Anything else? Liam nodded. One night I heard church bells. Only once, but they were clear. Daniels drew a circle around a large train yard near an old church that had a broken bell tower. That might be it. He looked at Liam. Would you be okay going with me to see? Liam looked nervous, but nodded. If it helps the others, yes. That night, Daniels and Kayla drove toward the area. Liam sat in the back seat, eyes wide as he looked out the window. As they passed an old warehouse district, Liam suddenly sat up. Stop, he shouted. That's it. Daniels hit the brakes. Liam pointed to a large broken-down building surrounded by tall fences and barbed wire. That's where they kept us. Daniels and Kayla looked at each other. No windows, just fence. Big metal door. Daniels stepped out of the car and took pictures. He didn't go inside yet, but he already knew. This was the place. That night, as Daniels locked the house, a dark shadow moved across the street. A figure stood near a tree watching. Inside the house, Liam was sleeping again, clutching his teddy bear. Daniels sat beside the bed, holding a photo. It was the last photo he had taken with his brother Nathan. He looked at Liam, then back at the photo. There were too many questions, but one thing was certain. Now Liam didn't just escape, he survived. Fought. And now, he was a key to unlocking something dark, dangerous and bigger than anyone had known. Just as Daniels was about to turn off the light, his phone buzzed. A message, unknown number. He's not your son, he's mine. Bring him back, or others will suffer. Daniels stared at the screen. Then he turned to look at Liam peacefully asleep. He whispered to himself, no, not this time. You're not taking him. The next morning started with quiet sunlight coming through the window. The wind had calmed, but inside Officer Daniels' house, something stronger was happening. Peace. For the first time in weeks, Liam slept past sunrise. No nightmares, no sudden waking, just quiet breathing and the soft sound of a small dog sleeping beside him. Daniel stood in the hallway, watching. There was a softness in his eyes, one he hadn't felt in years. He had spent his life helping others, but deep inside, something in him had been broken for a long time, since the day his little brother disappeared. But now, this boy had reopened that part of his heart, and peace. By peace, it was healing. Daniels made breakfast: eggs, toast, and fruit. He called out gently, "Liam, come eat before the dog gets your share." Liam appeared in the hallway, sleepy but smiling. His hair was messy, and he rubbed his eyes. "Good morning," Daniels said. "You sleep okay?" Liam nodded. "No bad dreams?" Daniels smiled. "That's a win." They sat and ate together. Daniels tried to keep things light. "I used to hate eggs when I was your age." Liam giggled. "You were a kid." Daniels raised his eyebrows. "What do you think? I was born wearing this uniform." Liam laughed. A real laugh. The kind that came from the belly. It was the first time Daniels had ever heard it, and it felt like music. After breakfast, Daniels showed Liam something. "I have a surprise." He led him into the small guest room, freshly cleaned. On the bed was a backpack, a clean set of clothes, and a small book with colorful pictures. "What's all this?" Liam asked. Daniels smiled. "Your room, at least until we figure things out." Liam's eyes widened. "Really? Mine?" Daniels nodded. "Every kid needs a place that's just theirs, somewhere safe. This is yours." Liam slowly walked in, touching the blanket, then the wall, then the book. He looked back. "No one's ever given me a room before." Daniels cleared his throat, hiding emotion. "Well, get used to it." Later that day, Kayla arrived at the house. She had good news and bad news. "The judge signed the search warrant," she said. "We can go inside that warehouse now." Daniels nodded. "And the bad news?" She handed him an envelope. "It's a copy of last night's message. Same number, same words. Sent to our department line." Daniels opened the paper and read it again. "He's not your son. He's mine. Bring him back, or others will suffer." Kayla's voice was firm. "They know we're close." Daniels nodded. "Then we don't back down." Liam peeked from the hallway, listening. Kayla noticed him. "Hey champ, how are you feeling?" Liam stepped forward slowly. "Are you going to stop the bad people?" "We're going to try," she said softly. Liam looked at Daniels. "Can I help?" Daniels hesitated. "You already have." But Liam's face was serious. "I remember something else." That afternoon, Liam sat with a pencil and paper. He started drawing. Not pictures of people, but lines, shapes, corners, a layout. Daniels watched closely. "This is the hallway," Liam said, pointing. "We slept here." "In these rooms?" Kayla asked. "Where they kept us locked when someone was bad." Daniels noticed something. "What's this square in the corner?" Liam paused. "That's the room no one came out of." Daniels leaned in. "What do you mean? Sometimes they took kids there, but they didn't come back?" Kayla went pale. "Are you saying?" Liam nodded. "I think they hurt them." Daniels stood up. "We need to move now." That evening, Daniels sat with Liam before leaving for the raid. "Kayla and I are going to check the building you escaped from." Liam looked scared. "Will you be okay?" Daniels smiled. "I'm taking backup. We'll be fine." Liam looked down. "What if they hurt you?" Daniels kneeled and placed a hand on his shoulder. "I've faced danger before, but this time, I have a reason to come back." Liam looked up. "What reason?" "You." As Daniels drove away with Kayla, Liam stood at the window, watching for the first time in a long time. He wasn't thinking about being alone. He was thinking about someone coming home. The warehouse stood dark and quiet under the gray sky. Daniels, Kayla, and two officers moved in with flashlights and weapons ready. Entered through the side where the broken metal door creaked open. Inside, it was worse than they imagined. No light, no windows, cold concrete floors, a smell of rot and chemicals. They found small mattresses, empty bowls, chains. Kayla whispered, "It's real." "Everything," Liam said. Daniels moved down the hallway, following Liam's drawing from memory. Found the square room in the corner. The door was locked. Thick metal. They broke it open, and inside, they found something that made everyone freeze. Cameras, wires, a control station, and more. Files, photos, names, dozens of missing kids, and a list. One name made Daniels stop breathing. Nathan Daniels. His brother, still listed as active. Kayla looked at him. "Daniels, this wasn't just a cage. It was a system." Daniels clenched his fists. "We bring them down. Every last one of them." Back at home, Liam waited on the couch. The dog sat beside him. The clock ticked hours past. Then, a knock at the door. Liam jumped up, ran, and opened it. Daniels stood there, dusty, tired but smiling. "You're back," Liam shouted. Daniels laughed and opened his arms. Liam hugged him tightly. "You were right," Daniels said. "You're stronger than anyone I've ever met." Liam looked up. "Did you find the bad people?" Daniels nodded. "We found their place. We found the proof. Now the real fight begins." Liam smiled. "I'm ready." Daniels looked at him. With pride, "You don't have to be scared anymore." "I'm not," Liam whispered. "Not with you." The next morning, the station was buzzing. Officers moved fast. Phones rang non-stop. Files were flying across desks like never before, but inside one small office, everything was quiet. Officer Daniels sat with Liam beside him. In front of them sat a sealed envelope. Daniels had waited days for this. The DNA test results? He had told himself it didn't matter what the papers said, but now that it was here, his hands were shaking. Liam sat still, holding his teddy bear like always. But this time, there was something different in his eyes. Calm trust. Safety. He was no longer the scared boy on the sidewalk. He had found something here. Someone in Daniels had found something to something he thought he had lost. Forever. Daniels slowly opened the envelope. The paper inside was short, clean words, clear truth. He read it once, twice, then lowered the paper. Liam looked up. Is it bad? Daniels smiled. Gently. No, buddy. It's not bad, but are we really brothers? Daniels looked him in the eyes. No, he said quietly. Not by blood. Liam looked down. His small shoulders dropped. But, Daniels added, that doesn't change anything. Liam blinked. Family isn't just blood. Liam, it's who stands by you. It's who chooses to protect you. And I'm not going anywhere. Liam smiled slowly. Daniels reached over and gave him a soft hug. You're mine, kid. DNA doesn't decide that. My heart does. That afternoon, the Child Crimes Unit finished their sweep of the dark warehouse. They found more than they expected. Hidden doors, old photos, and behind a false wall. 3 more children, alive, terrified, but alive. The operation made the news. Secret child trafficking site uncovered by local police. Daniels didn't care about the headlines, he cared about the names. And one name in particular kept echoing. In his head, Nathan Daniels' status. Active. His little brother, gone for over 15 years. Presumed dead. But now, maybe not. Later that evening, Daniels and Kayla sat in the station going through files. This system was massive, Kayla said. They didn't just keep kids, they moved them, tracked them, sold them. Daniels clenched his jaw. And Liam escaped from the middle of it. Kayla nodded. He's lucky. No, Daniels said. He's more than lucky, he's brave. He opened a folder marked confidential. Inside was a report from the old fire, the one that supposedly killed his brother. It listed the location, the remains found, and the names. But something was strange. The body was never confirmed. No dental records. No fingerprints. No final proof. Just ashes and a missing boy. Daniels slammed the folder shut. They never found him. Kayla looked at him. You think he was taken, not killed? Daniels nodded. And now, his name appears in this system. That can't be an accident. Daniels went home late that night. Liam was sitting on the couch with a blanket over his legs, watching cartoons. He turned and smiled. You're late, Daniels smiled back. Got stuck with paperwork. Liam patted the couch beside him. Want to watch? Daniels sat down. For a while they said nothing, just watched the silly characters on the screen. Then Liam asked, did they find more kids? Daniels nodded. 3. Are they okay? They will be just like you. Liam looked at him seriously. What if the bad man comes back? Daniels looked him in the eyes. Then he'll find me waiting. At midnight, the doorbell rang. Daniels got up carefully and checked the camera. A small package sat on the front step. No person in sight. He opened the door, took the box inside and closed the door quickly. It wasn't ticking, it wasn't heavy, but inside was something far worse. A flash drive, and a photo. It was a picture of a young boy, bruised, cold, wearing a bracelet. D.N. Daniels' knees went weak. It was him, Nathan, older, alive, still wearing the bracelet Daniels gave him as a child. On the back of the photo, a message was written in red ink. He's alive, but not for long. Stay out of this or lose both boys. Daniels called Kayla. Immediately. She arrived within minutes. They inserted the flash drive into the station computer. A video played. Dark room, one light bulb, a chair, and in that chair sat Nathan, eyes closed, thin, weak but breathing. The voice in the video said, you took one. If you don't return him, the other disappears forever. Daniel's hands shook with rage. Kayla looked at him. What are you going to do? Daniel stared at the screen. They want to play games. Fine. But they messed with the wrong cop. The next morning, Daniel sat with Liam again. I have something to tell you. Liam looked nervous. There's someone I've been looking for a long time. My brother. Liam's eyes widened. The one from the picture. Daniels nodded. He's alive, but he's in danger. Liam looked down. Because of me. Daniels shook his head. No, because of them. The same people who hurt you, but we're going to stop them. Liam's voice was quiet. Daniels leaned forward. Because this time, I'm not alone. You helped me find my heart again, Liam, and now, I'm going to use it. The morning air was thick with tension. Officer Daniel stood in front of the station's special unit board, going over maps, building layouts, and names of known suspects. He wasn't just working as a cop, now he was fighting as a brother. And as a father. His brother Nathan was alive, and the people who had taken Liam had him now. They wanted Liam back, or Nathan would die, but Daniels had made his choice. He wasn't giving anyone up. Not the boy who healed his broken heart, and not the brother who disappeared so long ago. He was going to bring them both home. Kayla entered the room holding a folder. We got a trace. The video from last night was uploaded using a signal that bounced through 4 states. But one final location showed up before it went dark. Daniels looked up, where an abandoned lumber mill, 30 miles west. Surrounded by forest. No neighbors. No traffic. Daniels grabbed his badge, his gun, and his gear. This is it. Kayla nodded. We've got a small team ready. Tactical units on standby. You're not going in alone. Daniels turned and looked out the window. I've been alone long enough. At home, Liam stood near the door, hugging his teddy bear tight. You're going to find him, aren't you? He asked. Daniels knelt in front of him. I'm going to bring him back. Just like I brought you back. Liam looked scared. What? If they hurt you? Daniels gave him a gentle smile. I'm not going down without a fight. And this time, I've got backup. He stood up and handed Liam a folded paper. If anything happens, give this to Officer Kayla. Liam opened it. His eyes moved across the simple sentence. You saved me, Liam. Never forget that. Tears filled Liam's eyes, but he nodded. Daniels ruffled his hair and turned to leave. I'll see you soon. The abandoned lumber mill sat in the middle of tall, wild trees, rusted walls, cracked windows, and a feeling like something evil had lived there too long. The sun was starting to go down. Daniels stood with Kayla and 4 tactical officers behind a row of bushes, scanning the building. There are 2 guards at the front, Kayla whispered. One look out on the roof. Daniels nodded. Nathan's inside. I know it. Kayla checked her weapon. Then let's move. They split into teams. Kayla and 2 officers circled to the back entrance. Daniels and the others went toward the side-loading dock. Each step was careful, every breath silent. The moment the signal came, it all happened fast. 1 guard knocked out, 1 flashlight dropped, a door kicked open, gun raised. Voices shouting, police. Hands where we can see them. Inside, 2 men tried to run caught before they got far. Daniels moved room to room, heart pounding. Every shadow made him jump. Then he saw a metal door, heavy, locked from the outside. Just like the one Liam had drawn. Daniels slammed it open. Inside, dim light chains. A bed. And in the corner, a boy. Thin, pale, bruised, but alive. Daniels dropped his weapon and rushed forward. Nathan. The boy turned slowly. His eyes were sunken but familiar. He whispered, Daniels. Tears filled Daniels' eyes. It's me. I found you. I told you I would. Nathan smiled weakly. You got older. Daniels laughed through tears. Yeah, you too. He pulled him into a tight hug, but then a sound. Footsteps. Fast. Angry, a voice echoed through the hallway. You were warned, officer. Daniels grabbed his weapon and stood in front of Nathan. The same man who came to the station now stood at the doorway. This time, he wasn't smiling. He held a gun. Kayla's voice came through the radio in Daniels' ear. Front is secure. Where are you? Daniels pressed the mic. I found him, but I've got company. The man raised the gun. You had one job. Give the boy back. Instead, you took 2. Daniels' voice was low, cold. You kidnapped children. You locked them in cages. You took lives. The man smirked. And you think you're better? You let your own brother vanish for years. Daniels stepped forward. I may have failed before, but not today. He raised his weapon before the man could react. A clean shot, straight to the shoulder. He dropped the gun and fell. Kayla appeared behind him. Nice distraction, she said, lowering her weapon. Daniels turned to Nathan and held him tight again. It's over. Back at the station, the news spread fast. The child trafficking ring was broken. 15 suspects arrested. 5 children rescued. One of them, Nathan Daniels. That night, Daniels opened the front door of his home. Liam was sitting on the couch, wide-eyed. When he saw who was behind Daniels, he gasped. Nathan stepped forward slowly. Liam stared, unsure. Daniels smiled. Liam, this is Nathan, my little brother. Nathan gave a shy wave. Hey, Liam walked forward. Do you like pancakes? He asked. Nathan blinked, surprised. Yeah, Liam smiled. Then you'll be okay here. Daniels laughed. For the first time in years. His home was full, not of things, but of people, of family. Later that night, after everyone had gone to bed, Daniels sat alone at the kitchen table. He stared at a photo in his hand. It was a picture of 3 boys, him, Nathan, and now Liam. No blood connected all of them, but something deeper did. Pain. Survival and love. The house was quiet, not silent with fear, but peaceful. For the first time in years, Officer Daniels woke up not to sirens, not to nightmares, but to the soft sound of laughter. It came from the kitchen, 2 boys, one stirring pancake batter, the other flipping eggs with too much butter and way too much mess. Daniel stepped into the doorway, arms crossed, smiling. Liam turned around, grinning. We're making breakfast, Nathan added. Kind of. The dog barked from under the table, already licking something off the floor. Daniels laughed. Looks like I should have stayed in bed. Liam raised the spatula like a sword. You better eat it. We're doing this every Saturday. Daniels put a hand over his heart. Yes, sir. Later that day, the three of them sat outside in the backyard. The sun was warm. The grass smelled fresh. Nathan lay on a blanket, eyes closed, feeling the world again. Freedom was still new to him. Every breeze, every bird sound, felt like a gift. Liam sat beside him, drawing in his sketchbook. Daniels watched them both from the porch, sipping coffee, still trying to believe this wasn't a dream. He had found his brother. He had rescued the boy who needed him most. And somehow, along the way, he had become a father without planning to be one. But peace didn't mean the fight was over. At the police station, there were still calls, still papers, still stories of missing kids and broken families. Daniels knew the world wouldn't fix itself in 1 week. But he also knew he wasn't fighting alone anymore. Kayla walked into his office holding a stack of letters. "What's this?" he asked. "Letters from the other rescued kids. They all want to thank you. And Liam." Daniels opened the first letter. The handwriting was shaky. "I thought no one would come. Then I heard your voice. You didn't just save me. You gave me back my hope." He put the letter down slowly. "Liam did that. He said he ran." He spoke up. "He's the reason we found all of them." Kayla smiled. "So what happens now?" Daniels looked out the window. "I build something." 1 week later, Daniels stood at a construction site just outside the city. A large sign read, "The Haven, a home for survivors." It wasn't a shelter, not a temporary space. This was something more. A safe place where kids like Liam and Nathan could heal, learn, grow, be kids again. Daniels had used all his savings, even gone on TV to ask for help, and people had responded. Survivors, parents, neighbors, good strangers now. Walls were going up, not to keep people in, but to let them breathe. Back at the house, Liam was sitting with Nathan on the porch swing. He looked up at the stars. "Do you think that bad people will ever come back?" he asked softly. Nathan shook his head. "Not now. Not with Daniels around." Liam nodded. "He's like a superhero." Nathan smiled. "He kind of is." Liam thought for a moment, then asked, "Do you miss your old family?" Nathan looked down. "Sometimes. But I think maybe this is my family now." Liam smiled. "Mine too." Just then, Daniels stepped outside. "What are you two whispering about?" Liam and Nathan looked at each other, then said at the same time, "Nothing, Dad." Daniels froze for a second. "Say that again?" Liam smiled shyly. "We said Dad." Nathan added, "You're stuck with us now." Daniels looked away for a moment, pretending to hide a tear. Then he nodded, double quotes, "Good, because I wouldn't trade either of you for anything." That weekend, the Haven opened its doors for the first time. The place was simple but strong. Warm beds, bookshelves full of stories, walls covered in drawings, some made by Liam himself. Kids ran around the yard, laughed, played tag, flew kites. Daniels stood near the gate, watching it all with quiet pride. Nathan came beside him. "Think they'll be okay?" Daniels nodded. "I think they'll be more than okay." Liam ran up and grabbed both their hands. "Come on, we're planting trees." Daniels laughed. "Trees?" "Yeah," Liam said. "For every kid who got saved, we plant one. That way the world remembers." Daniels looked at Nathan. "That his idea?" Nathan nodded. "Of course." Later that night, the three of them sat around a small fire pit behind the house. The stars were bright. Liam leaned against Daniels. Nathan held a small wooden box. He opened it slowly. Inside was the old red bracelet. Worn, faded, but still whole. Handed it to Liam. "This was mine. But I think you've earned it." Liam looked surprised. "Really?" Nathan nodded. "It means you're one of us now." Liam took the bracelet and slid it onto his wrist. It fit perfectly. Daniels looked at both of them. "I don't know how I got lucky enough to have you two." Liam grinned. "Maybe God knew you needed saving too." Daniels smiled. And for once, there was no pain behind it. Days turned to weeks, weeks into months. The Haven grew. More kids came, more hearts healed. But one thing never changed. In a small house with a wooden porch and a messy kitchen, a family lived that wasn't made by blood. It was made by choice, by courage, and by one single word. The word a scared little boy once said to a cop on the street. A word that changed everything, Dad.